So we need to solve this trig function, this cosine trig function, for what values of x will make that statement true. We treat this kind of like it's an exponent in our order of operations. If there's stuff in parentheses in that argument, we would be taking care of that last. So we get rid of the addition first. The inverse of adding is subtracting, so I subtract 8. What I do on the left, I must do on the right. So I get the cosine of x, 8 minus 8 is 0, is equal to 4 minus 8, which is a negative 4. Then we're going to get rid of the cosine. To get rid of something, you do its inverse, and on the calculator, it's always above it. So we're going to do the cosine inverse. Before we do the cosine inverse, we have to be more intelligent than the calculator, so we got to think about it. We're talking about a negative cosine here. All students take calculus. Cosine is positive in the first and fourth. All students take calculus, so it is negative in the second and third quadrant. Since the calculator will only do one-to-one functions, it will restrict the domain. So I always want to let the calculator give me the reference angle. So I will take the cosine inverse of a positive 4. I will always take the inverse of the positive number, thereby forcing the calculator to give me an angle in the first quadrant. And then from there, I'm going to be more intelligent than the calculator and figure out what answers I actually want. In this particular case, if you take the cosine inverse of 4, you will get not possible. Because if we review our cosine graph, cosine starts there, goes back up. It only goes to 1 and negative 1. You can never take the cosine of an angle and get larger than 1 or less than negative 1. So that's not possible. We'll talk about getting the other quadrant answers with a better example. All right, this time we've got a trig function with a tangent. Again, the tangent we will get rid of in the same order as if it was an exponent. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So in the order, according to the rules, we will get rid of the minus 4, and then the multiply by 8, and then the tangent. So to get rid of the minus 4, the inverse of subtracting is adding. What I do to the left, I must do to the right. So I have 8 tangent of x. 4 minus 4 is 0. 1 plus 4 is 5. Then to get rid of the multiply by 8, the inverse of multiplication is to divide. What I do on the left, I must do on the right. So 8 divided by 8 is 1. So the tangent of x is equal to, all right, 5 divided by 8 is equal to 0.625. Then we need to get rid of tangent. To get rid of tangent, I'm going to do the tangent inverse. But again, I have to remember that the calculator will only deal with one-to-one functions. So I've got to be smarter than the calculator. I want a positive answer. Tangent is positive. Let's see, all students take calculus. So tangent is positive in the first and third quadrant. I then can take the tangent inverse. So those are inverses of each other. And the tangent inverse, you have to hit the yellow button and then tangent. Tangent inverse of 0.625 is 32 degrees. That is my reference angle, and it is also my answer because I want the answer in the first quadrant. The reference angle is always in the first quadrant. So then I need the answer in the third quadrant. And remember, you're going 180 plus that additional. So 180 plus the additional 32, because it's all nice and symmetric, and you get 212. So 212 is also an answer.